No land hand. It's not free though. No, you do have to pay, I suppose. Okay, we have a one land hand with Aether Vial. Unfortunately, it's Ziggurat, but we can play the Hierarch. We might be punished for keeping this hand, but I don't want to mulligan to 5. We're going to risk it, and we'll throw our second legend back. Okay, land off the top is going to be ideal here, so that we can deploy Aether Vial Thalia. Yeah, I also really enjoy the wildcard system. I think that's a fantastic way to reward your players and allow them to build decks. Okay, no land. I'm thinking I just want to deploy the Thalia. It looks like their control deck. So let's make it harder for them to cast their spells. But we're not going to survive long if we don't find another land off the top very soon. We want to get that Mantis Rider out so we can start clocking our opponent. Probably. I was just thinking that I wanted to tax them, but this means that we can no longer deploy our Vial. So that might be a mistake. Let's see if we draw land here, and we miss. So we can play Meddling Mage. And we could name Uro. Omnath would not be another good name, but the Uro is going to be ramping them. So I'll name the Uro and then hopefully be able to Reflector Mage and Omnath. Yeah, probably. Sitting on Growth Spiral. They will be able to play it this turn, though. They finally have enough lands. And the Field of Ruin getting the Ancient Ziggurat means that I'll have to go get a basic. Ah, we find a land. So now we can Mantis Rider. I think Mantis Rider is probably the best play here. Blue, red, and white. Mantis, then General. Yeah, I think so. Oh, Mana Leak. Imagine that. Who plays Mana Leak? And with a white border. Gross. Too bad we didn't draw the Cavern of Souls instead of the Canopy there. Engineered Explosives on 1. Note, cast with 2 colors. X is 1. Thalia does some pretty interesting things with Engineered Explosives, if you didn't know already. You can say X is 1, and then you're paying 2 because of the Thalia, but it still checks 2 colors. Okay, Reflector Mage. So we can play Aether Vial or we can play General. Either way, we're losing our 2 creatures. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, we're going to get nuked pretty hard. That Engineered Explosive is pretty nice from the opponent. Probably should have grabbed the mana leak there so they wouldn't be able to flash it back with Snapcaster Mage. That was my mistake. Okay, so they're getting rid of the Horizon Canopy. We're gonna go get we get Plains or Island here. We probably get Island. Oh no, you didn't mention that. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary gets back their mana leak. And they get to draw it with the Uro. Okay, we're going to... How are we going to do this here? Oh, he was your boss. We would like to draw a human off the top, please. We get Thalia's Lieutenant. That might be the best card to get draw here. His saying is, do better, not worse. Sound advice. So we play Thalia's Lieutenant, get the Uro out of their graveyard, and then attack for a bunch of damage. We'll attack with the Hierarch as well. Yeah, we could play the Vial instead of attacking with the Hierarch, but we would be missing out on 2 damage that way. We would actually only be missing out on 1 damage, because the Exalted will hit the Kudro. Okay, I'm in for that. And then Vial will let us play around the... I believe they put Mana Leak back with Mystic Sanctuary. Get rid of that Uro. Get right out of here. And we'll go ahead and play the Vial so that after we can attack, we can just hit 6. Yeah. Oh, Force of Negation to get rid of the Aether Vial here. Okay. Yeah, opponent knows a thing or two about magic, that's for sure. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're missing 1 damage to be presenting lethal. Here's a Wrenn and 6. That's fine. They play the Field of Ruin, and we get Thalia. Okay, so we play Thalia, they counter it, and then we attack. Cancel that. They do have enough mana here in order to Cryptic Command. So we might not want to cast the Thalia pre-combat, even though it would present lethal. Let's go to begin combat and see if they have Cryptic Command. Okay, tap our team. If we play the Thalia, it will just die immediately to the Wrenn and 6. Yeah, I was just about to play into it, but managed to avoid that that punt. Okay, so we'll go get our planes. But that's all our basics, so if they keep on killing our lands, we got nothing left. They still have 4 cards in hand and 4 mana. They could definitely have another Cryptic Command ready to go. Oh, they're tapping Outfit. What is this going to be? Omnath, maybe? Yep. So we're going to be able to bounce that to their hand. Let's just hope they don't have any other plays. Oh, dang. Misty Rainforest. So they're going to be able to produce a ton of mana as well. Here's an Uro, draw them another card, get them some more life. We're going to be able to get rid of the Uro. Wow. So many landfalls. So I guess we just took 4 there. Okay, they only have a single green left open, so we can Reflector the Omnath, take the Uro out of the graveyard, and attack in for damage. We could potentially kill the Wrenn and 6. I'm not sure if that's the right play, though. We probably want to be going in for damage at the opponent to try and kill them. Okay, so take 7, put them to 7. I think if I could have killed Wrenn and 6 with 1 creature, I might have gone that route. But I would have had to send both creatures at Wrenn and 6, which would have tripled the clock. Okay, they have a Teferi Hero. Are they going to... No, they're drawing a card and untapping lands. I mean, they still have 5 cards in hand. They could have Cryptic Command, tap our team. Oh, and they're going to be able to start destroying our basics. Oh, good morning, Crown. Good to see ya. We just started a 2nd league. Not something I'm normally in the habit of, but I had the night off work, so I'm going to be playing a little bit more Magic today than usual. Think that Humans is your favorite modern deck? Fantastic. I've been having quite a bit of fun with it. Can't play it because of your budget. It is not cheap. I think it's one of the most expensive decks that we've played on stream so far. We find Unclaimed Territory, which is not Cavern of Souls. Okay, So we're going to go to combat, and if they don't have an answer, they're dead. And then second main, we'll be able to play something else, probably Thalia. Okay, they're destroying our Unclaimed Territory. And they're probably going to tap our team after this. Oh, wow. And they return their land, so they can just keep on doing that over and over again. Okay. So I think we play Thalia so we can get the Cryptic Command out of the graveyard, but they have a second one. Brutal. They're going to have to get the General off the board if they want to kill Thalia with their red and 6. But I think they're going to want to draw a card with a Teferi instead. Here's Omnath again. Hey Crown, have you ever considered renting? That's what I've been doing lately. Okay, they're putting Cryptic Command back on top of their deck. They draw it with Teferi. So we're pretty much in garbage time here. They're going to be able to continuously Cryptic Command us, tap our team over and over and over again. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty much every Pauper deck. But as far as... Oh, yep, there it goes. Just as far as modern decks go, there wouldn't be too many options, would there? Hour of Promise, we're going to concede here. Let's just take a look at what they get out of their deck. Let's get some information here. Field of the Dead. Okay. We definitely want our friend and yours, Magus of the Moon. And Gaddock Teeg. Oh, alright. Storm is a fantastic deck. I didn't realize that it was so affordable. That's it. Magus of the Moon. I'm thinking Reflector Mage is not so great in this matchup. It does bounce Omnath and Uro. Okay. Yes, we'll take the play. This hand, not great. It has no Cavern of Souls. It only has 2 spells. We're going to mulligan. Okay, we have Magus of the Moon. Aether Vial. This hand is great. We'll keep. I think I want to throw away the Mantis Rider. It's going to take us a while to get up to 3, and the first 3 we're going to want to play as Magus of the Moon. Alright, well we have Handsome's approval, so we're going to go ahead. Start with Unclaimed Territory, name human, and play Aether Vial. Get us around some counter spells. Next turn we're going to be playing Meddling Mage, so we have to figure out what we're going to name with that. Especially considering we want to get that Magus out. Horizon Canopy, so we have the lands that we need now. What do we name with Meddling Mage? Do we name Path to Exile, maybe? I think we name Path to Exile. We're going to want to put the champion in first. Okay, fingers crossed they tap down. We don't want to put the Magus and the Moon into a mana leak. They've already shown us that they play mana leak, so if we can play around it, we might as well. Okay, there's a basic plains. And we find Cavern of Souls. So good. We're so good at this game. So smart and handsome. Let's start with an attack. And then we'll play Magus. So they only have access to a basic plains now. We could have played that pre-combat. Oh, they have Celestial Purge. Way to wait on it. Okay, we lose our Magus. Yeah, missed that. Missed the free damage there. That was my bad. Would have greatly increased our clock as well. Okay, and we lose our Cavern of Souls. Let's go get Island. So we can potentially cast any illusions. And we'll start our turn. Yes, we'll tick that up to 3. We find a Noble Hierarch. Okay, let's draw a card with the Horizon Canopy. And we find another Cavern of Souls. Okay, we'll play the Hierarch so we can get an extra damage. They got a bunch of basics now. Okay, take 6. Just thinking, if they brought in Purge, they must have been expecting Magus of the Moon. Okay, we're going to get another good hit in, I think. The Aether Vial will be a no from now on, so let's just go ahead and set our triggers. And we find another Magus. Well, why don't we just go ahead and put that into play? Just wondering if we name Illusion with the... no, we still name Human. Okay, another Magus of the Moon. They have no chance to crack their Flooded Strand, so they're locked off of blue. And then we'll attack for 7. Send a message. Attack with Noble Hierarch. Hey there, Gargamel. Yeah, got that second Magus of the Moon off the top. Very lucky. Looks like we might go to a game 3. Here we go. Don't think I want to change the sideboard very much. Like the Gaddock Teeg Magus of the Moon. I think we're just going to send it back. Okay, so we've got Cavern of Souls, Aether Vial, Gaddock Teeg, Magus of the Moon. Couldn't ask for anything more, right? This is exactly what we want. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get the Kithkin Advisor down because we're going to want to name human. Think I should hodl the cavern? You think I should play Unclaimed Territory first, Aether Vial? Yeah, that's true. We do have two of them, though. There's a Field of the Dead from the opponent. We're going to be able to play Kitesail Freebooter this turn. And we find Ancient Ziggurat. That'll make it... I guess we can't really play the Gaddock Teeg anyway this turn. So there's no chance of a spell snare. That's the hope. We're hoping next turn that we're just going to win. We'll have Gaddock Teeg, Magus of the Moon, and we get to see what their hand is. Potentially take any removal out of it. Okay, there's the path. We'll go get planes here. Okay, and they have Lightning Bolt and Supreme Verdict. So the Lightning Bolt will be able to get one of the Magus of the Moons, but we have two. And Gaddock Teeg will stop them from bringing the Verdict down. Okay. Good thing we have two Magus of the Moons. They only have one Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think you're right. Put in the Magus. They'll Lightning Bolt. Oh, right. The Aether Vial's gone. Okay. And we draw another Aether Vial. So we can play Magus so that they have to play Bolt. And then we can play Magus Teeg on another turn. We have the Ziggurat and the Plains to cast the Teeg. I'm wondering, they might actually hold their Lightning Bolt. Nope, they're not going to hold it. Okay. I was wondering if they'd hold it and cut us off our own type of mana, but they have an Uro here, so that makes sense. Okay, so they are going to be able to go get basic forest with that. Or second island. We find Phantasmal Image. Cool. So we're going to want to play Ziggurat, cast Teeg, cast Magus. Okay, they'll go get a basic here. Ah, Mystic Sanctuary, put Lightning Bolt back in hand. Okay, that's pretty good from the opponent. Unfortunate that our Aether Vial won't be able to put a Phantasmal Image into play. Okay, getting rid of Gaddock Teeg. Oh, and then they have the Teferi. So that's pretty much GG. Opponent has their 2 Teferi on the board, and they're able to answer our Magus of the Moon. They only have 1 card left in hand, but we have no gas. Okay, we have a 1-land hand, but we have Aether Vial and 2 Champion of the Parish. I'm gonna keep this and hope that we don't get punished. We could just be making a horrible mistake here, but the pressure that this hand can put forward is quite high. We'll be able to put down 2 champions next turn, and then on turn 3, Thalia's Lieutenant to grow the champions quite large. Okay, basic island, Serum Visions. Serum Visions, huh? This cannot be Storm, right? Because one of the Storm Lords would say they cannot play this companion. Niv. Would Niv play Serum Visions, though? I mean, why not? They need to have some 1-mana spells. Okay, we draw a land. Perfect. So we could play Champion of the Parish, Thalia's Lieutenant, but I would rather play the Lieutenant after the 2 champions. Double champs, I agree. We can vial the other one in, EOT. Stomping Ground. And Sylvan Caryatid. You know what this is? I know what this is. I know exactly what this is. This is Jeskai Ascendancy combo. Yep. Jeskai Ascendancy. Gonna hope to draw a Meddling Mage here. We get Unclaimed Territory instead. Reflector Mage will not hit Caryatid. I think that we just go ahead and attack, and then vial in Thalia's Lieutenant if they block. I mean, even if they don't block, we'll do that. Come on, block. Block this little 1/1. No, no luck. Okay, take 7. Go to 10. And I think we just go ahead and play Reflector Mage even though they don't have a target, just to get another creature on the board and try and win next turn. We did miss out on a little bit of damage that way, but I wanted to see if I could trap them with the Caryatid there. Well, maybe Baltap was actually listening to their inner Admiral Akbar. I mean, if the rebels had listened to Admiral Akbar, they wouldn't have had such heavy losses at the second Death Star. Or was he really just Captain Hindsight? Okay, opponent's having a difficult time deciding what to do this turn. We've presented a ludicrous amount of pressure, so they're going to be forced to block our creatures. Yeah, definitely tick this up to 3. See if we can draw Meddling Mage. We get Mantis Rider. Okay, so we'll cast Mantis Rider, attack, and then we can throw the Reflector Mage onto the battlefield to pump our team. We get red, blue, white. Let's see if they'll scoop to Mantis Rider. Yep. Okay. So what do we do here? I think Chalice of the Void would be quite good. We could Chalice on 1, and I don't think they can combo. They have a lot of 1-mana spells to churn through. Dismember, I don't think is going to be very good. You think the Skyclave Apparition? It hits their enchantment. Get that off the board. I'm not really big on Magus of the Moon in this matchup. They're going to be running creatures that produce mana, but it might still be right to bring in the Magus. What do you think, Handsome? Gaddock Teeg is going to be no good. Plague Engineer doesn't seem very good. No Moon. Okay. So we'll need to take out a few cards anyway. I'm thinking about taking out Reflector Mage. It's not going to hit many of their creatures. I'm also thinking about taking out Hierarch because we're running Chalice. Oh, that's true, right? So we could Plague Engineer and name the guy that untaps things. What is that called? Yeah, I'm just thinking about that myself. Not sure what his name is. Not sure about the general here. Alright, well, we've got another minute left here on sideboarding, so I'll take a look for that card once we get the game going. But I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure it is the next one. Actually, the general's pretty good just at getting rid of that unearthed card out of the graveyard, right? But they would generally be going off once it's there. Right, we wanted to take out Reflector Mage. Phew, just made it. Fate Stitcher. Oh, it's a 1/2? Punt. Ah, damn. Okay. So we'll take the Plague Crafters or whatever out of the deck. We do have Chalice here, So we can turn 2, Chalice on 1. We can cast Thalia. This hand is slow, though. We're going to keep it. It might be a bad keep, but we're keeping it on the strength of Chalice, hoping that stopping their 1-drops is going to be enough. Thanks for finding the card for us. There's a bird. Okay, so nothing to play here. Well, hopefully we'll do better than last league. It shouldn't be too hard. We didn't do too great last league. Okay, so they have a ton of mana here. 4 birds, 2 nobles. Okay. So we could name bird with the plague. 2 bottom. Okay. So we have the choice of Chalice or Thalia here. I like putting the Chalice into play. Turn them off 1-drops, and then we'll play Thalia next turn. Okay, here's a Fate Stitcher. And we got Phantasmal Image. So we could Reflector Mage the Fate Stitcher, keep them off mana. Or we could play the Thalia and tax their spells. I like Thalia here. Dude, we could copy the Fate Stitcher. We can. We could also copy their bird. If only we had a vial. Dang. Okay, this is probably the Jeskai Ascendancy. Yeah, exactly. We're going late game, so we'll probably be drawing a bunch of vials off the top at this point. But the Chalice would counter them, so we probably shouldn't cast them unless we want to look like a fool. Okay, here's another Caryatid. Not going to be attacking with Thalia anytime soon. Then again, the lieutenants can make that happen. Glittering Wish, okay. Be able to get something to remove the Chalice of the Void. And we find Meddling Mage, so we can meddle their Abrupt Decay. And we'll pass. We're making it difficult for the opponent with our Chalice and Thalia here. Okay, they have another Fate Stitcher, so they're just going wide. We're the ones that are supposed to go wide. Okay, we get Mantis Rider. Mantis Rider can start attacking. We have the mana to cast it. Why not? And then we can start playing lieutenants after that. Phantasmal Image on Mantis Rider is also going to be attractive. Yeah, too bad we can't put a Chalice on 2. That would just annihilate our hand. Oh, neat. They can tap down our team so that we can't attack. And that means the Phantasmal Image would just die to their Fate Stitchers. So we're going to need to get rid of those things. That's a bit of a pain. Guess we're in this for the long game. Those Fate Stitchers. Yep, we can copy Lieutenant just to increase the strength of our team. Ah, here's a Time Raveler. So they're going to be able to bounce the Chalice of the Void here and then start doing their thing. Ah, get rid of Meddling Mage so they can Abrupt Decay the Chalice. Okay, Thalia's Lieutenant. So what are we going to do here? Would have really liked to land off the top. We could recast Meddling Mage, and when they destroy the Chalice with Abrupt Decay, we can name Jeskai Ascendancy. I don't think Thalia's Lieutenant's going to do very much here, because they can block, tap. They can block the Thalia and tap the Mantis Rider. Yeah, that's right, eh? We'll be able to play out the other one. I suppose we could play out the other one right now. Just so the Abrupt Decay doesn't really do much. And they're still locked off of those 1-mana spells. I think that might be better. Oh, the opponent is allowing us to attack. Let's get Teferi off the board. And then we'll play the second Chalice of the Void. I wonder if opponent even bothers playing the Abrupt Decay on the first Chalice at this point. They might just hold it in hand to kill the Thalia or Mantis Rider instead. Okay, Abrupt Decay, yeah, getting rid of Thalia. Looks like they just put the Giganta into hand. Counter your Bird of Paradise. Lol. We take those. Land. Okay, they're tapping down our lands now. Are you going to tap them both, or are we going to be able to attack? Okay, you're tapping both. Land off the top, please. Aether Vial instead. That will be countered by Chalice, so we have no plays. Okay, here comes Giganta. Fate Stitchers doing their best impression of Rishadan Port. Land off the top, please. Champion of the Parish instead. That will be countered by Chalice of the Void. We can still attack, though. But we're going to start being worried about their clock with their 5/5. That we can't do anything about because they keep tapping down our lands. Okay, here's Ascendancy. They're going to be able to start casting their 1-drops just to beef up their Fate Stitchers and their Giganta. Oh, I did forget that. We don't have a Caverns, but that's a good point. I wasn't thinking about that. We can play our Champion of the Parish through Chalice of the Void if we find Cavern of Souls. Oh my, they can make so many manas. Let's just go ahead and hit 6, save some time from our clock. We don't have any plays. Well, we are making this difficult for them, but the Jeskai Ascendancy is going to be able to win the day anyway, just pumping their creatures. So they're going to be able to attack us with a gigantic Giganta. So that's nearly lethal now. Actually, I forgot about the bird, so that's 8 and 8 is 16. Oh yeah. That's a GG. Okay. So let's take this opportunity to get that garbage out of the deck. And maybe we'll put some mana back in. Still not a huge fan of Reflector Mage. Removal was only Bolts into Fairy. Yep, that's the only things we've seen, but they could have Path to Exile as well. Okay, so we have the Chalice, but one of our lands is Ziggurat, so we won't be able to play it unless we draw a different land. But this hand is fine, we're going to keep. We can play the Champion of the Parish into Thalia's Lieutenant, hopefully into Mantis Rider, and present a clock that they can't deal with. And if we get a land that isn't Ancient Ziggurat, we can Chalice of the Void on 1 on turn 2. So let's cross our fingers and hope for almost any land out of the deck. There's one Ancient Ziggurat left in the deck. So we don't want that one, but any other land off the top, please. Okay, Stomping Ground untapped. They probably have a Lightning Bolt then. And we get Unclaimed Territory. So we're going to go ahead and put that Chalice out. I think that we go ahead and attack first and see if they'll let us hit them for 1 damage. Because they're going to cast that Lightning Bolt as soon as we cast Chalice. So this might get us in for an extra point of damage. Okay, nope, they don't allow that. They're going to Lava Dart it. Next turn, Mantis Rider. Not afraid of the Lava Dart in the graveyard at all. Well, they would have had to sacrifice the land in order to take out both of our creatures, so it still would have been a 2 for 2. Glittering Wish. Go get Abrupt Decay, so they'll be able to get rid of the Chalice. And we get Noble Hierarch. So we can play the Hierarch with the Cavern, but we want to start with Mantis Rider, I think. Want to get that clock going. Oh my, the opponent just passed. I think that they might have hit the wrong button. We're hovering at my upkeep for a moment there. Okay, Horizon Canopy. So I think we play the General and the Hierarch. Yeah, but I think they skipped through their turn. The way that their turn went so fast, I think they hit 6 or something and they just skipped past it. You think General first, huh? Yeah, you're right. They're very good. This hand, however, I'm not too fussed about. So many 2-drops, it's very clunky. I don't really like our curve. I'm going to throw it back and see if we can find a better 6. 1 land. This is worse. We have to mulligan this. Okay, this is fine. Let's think about what we have to keep here. We have to throw, I think... yeah, we have to throw 2 cards back. So we want to keep definitely the Vial Champion. I think we want to keep the land as well. And then maybe we keep the other champion instead of the Hierarch. I wouldn't mind keeping the Meddling Mage. But I want to keep those champions. Let's keep them. Mountain Crash Through. So we're playing against Izzet Prowess. Cavern of Souls. Name Human. Play Aether Vial. Okay, Lightning Bolt our face. And light up the stage. Soulscar Mage, Lava Spike. Okay, we get another land. No more lands, please, deck. Yeah, Champion's not looking very good anymore. We'll go ahead and play 1 and see if we can bait out a Lava Dart. Okay, Lava Spike us. And then I imagine they light up the stage again. Not going to wait on that Mishra's Bauble, huh? You don't want to do some damage with that Soulscar Mage trigger? Okay, give me a creature deck. Non-land, please. Thalia's Lieutenant will do fine. Attack all. Okay, take a 7, opponent. This champion is looking pretty strong now, but the Soulscar Mage can still take them down in the long term. Okay, they have Bedlam Reveler. Gonna let them draw 3 fresh cards, but they are tapped out now. If we draw Reflector Mage off the top, we're doing okay. Human, please. Thalia's Lieutenant, okay. It might have been better to keep on 2, specifically for the Lieutenant. Now we have to play this main step instead of using it as a combat trick. Okay, so let's take a second here to look at the math. If they only block Thalia's Lieutenant, they take 11, go to 1. So I don't think I send in the Lieutenant here. I hold it back, send it in next turn. Yeah, opponent would have just ate up that Lieutenant. They were fine going to 1. They cannot use the Islet, though. And we do have a couple blockers and a healthy life total. So let's see if we can survive this. We're going to want to be bringing in Chalice again. This deck plays a lot of 1-drops, as you can see. Hey, okay. I was getting a little bit afraid there, but we got there. So bring in Chalice, bring in Champ, and what do we take out? I usually take out Hierarchs. I prefer the Vials to the Hierarchs because the Hierarchs are a bad draw late and they can be killed, whereas the Aether Vial can give us that mana advantage without being bolted. Maybe we'll just take out 1. I would rather take out the Hierarchs, especially with the Chalice of the Void. Yep, you're right. We could also bring in Skyclave Apparition, but that doesn't hit their big threats. We could bring in Dismember to kill their big threats, but I would rather have Reflector Mage for that. Let's submit with this. Okay, we have a Chalice, we have a Champ. The Ziggurat does not cast Chalice, but I like the hand. We're going to keep this. Okay, they start with Soulscar Mage. We'll play the Champion into their removal spell. And hopefully draw a different land other than Ancient Ziggurat. Yeah, that's true too. Spirit turns their Soulscar mages into 1/1s. We probably should have brought that in. Because really it's all about getting rid of these prowess creatures. They're the problem. Yeah, they have a very strong turn 1 and 2 there. And we draw a second Chalice. Boo. Only thing we can cast here is Meddling Mage. We can name Lightning Bolt or Swift Spear. We're going to name Swift Spear just so we know that the Swift Spear to our right is dead. And now we have a pair of 2/2s. Going red-red. Okay, these Soulscar mages are going to be dangerous. Let's see here. Bolt, kill us. Opponent's really showing off here. There's a Burst Lightning to kill Meddling Mage. And they have a Mishra's Bauble too. They just have it all. So we're pretty dead here. I'm going to chump. Save our life total a little bit. Still go down to 9 here. And our opponent just has a plethora of creatures. We're going to concede. We'll bring in the apparitions. Maybe take out the illusions. Although if we illusion an Auriok Champion, that's pretty incredible. I want to keep the general so we can hit their lava dart and make it more difficult for them to cast the what is that thing called? Bedlam Reveler. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, we have Chalice. We have some images which are very meh. And we can reflect their early 1-drop. So we're going to keep this. It seems very slow, but we're going to be able to play Chalice on turn 2 and then Reflector Mage on turn 3 and get rid of their turn 1 creature. Okay, they have no turn 1 creature. Get Thalia's Lieutenant off the top. Now, having cast Chalice on one, they probably have Manamorphose into Stormwing Entity. Nope. Big nothing from the opponent. And we get Auriok Champion off the top. Fantastic. So we'll play Cavern of Souls, name Illusion, and then we'll just start playing champions. And once we got all of our champions on board, then we'll play Lieutenant. Oh, very nice. They have a Braid for Chalice. Okay, so we get to keep on playing. Good answer from the opponent. Always yes, always yield. Oh, really? They're going to Lava Dart us? They must have Light Up the Stage in hand. Doesn't know what's coming. Well, let's enlighten him. Land off the top, please. Basic island. Kitesail instead. We could Kitesail their hand. That's interesting. Could also Reflector the Soulscar Mage and set them back. Summon the dude. But we have so many dudes to summon. I really like Reflector Mage, Soulscar Mage. Just really set them back. And then hopefully we can start playing two drops a turn. We'll go ahead and attack here. Oh, dang, that phone autocorrect. Okay, they have no play. Good for us. And we get Meddling Mage. Okay, probably gonna cast Phantasmal Image, make another champ. So we'll just attack all, and then make a champ. Okay, they have Lightning Bolt for our Reflector Mage. That's fine. It's going to be very difficult for our opponent to beat the Auriok Champions, but they can if they have Kozilek's Return. That's the one card in their deck that's going to allow them to beat our champions. If we can get the... So one thing we might want to consider is playing Thalia's Lieutenant and then making an image of the Lieutenant so we can get our champions up to 3/3s. That way we don't have to worry about Kozilek's Return. Although this does make us extra vulnerable to Kozilek's Return for one turn. Okay, they don't have it in hand. Or, no, they would still have to get rid of the Champion of the Parish regardless. Here's a Stomp. Get rid of the Lieutenant so we cannot image it. and a Reveler. We're at 32 life. We have 2 unblockable creatures. It's looking pretty good so far. Okay, we find planes, so we can play 2 cards. Keep swinging, I agree, but we get to play 2 spells this turn. We could play Kitesail and then Meddling Mage. I think that would be the best thing to do. Let's tap our mana correctly here. Okay, opponent has another Stomp in hand. So we could, if we cast the Meddling Mage, it's just going to get stomped on. And we unfortunately cannot cast the Illusion because we've tapped the Cavern of Souls. So we're not playing the Meddling Mage into their Stomp. And we have to be careful if we ever try and block any of their creatures with champions. A Stomp would kill our champs. Okay, Stomp killing the Freebooter. That's fine. And then we can name Bone Crusher Giant, and these cards will be exiled forever. Or at least until they can answer the Meddling Mage. Now we're at 34 life. They can swing in for a significant chunk of damage here. We'll take 8. Get Champion of the Parish off the top. So we can Champion Meddling Mage. Or we could Meddling Mage twice. And if we could Mage 1 for Bone Crusher Giant and then the other one for Kozilek's Return. Or we could just make more Auriok Champions. Alright, we're going to make one Meddling Mage, say Bone Crusher Giant, and then the other one we're going to name the card that we're dead to. Our opponent there just complimenting our use of the Auriok Champions as unblockable threats instead of just holding them back as blockers turn after turn after turn. Okay, they have one card in hand. Count up the damage really quick. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if they lightning bolt us, that's another 4, 7, 17. So we don't need to block. And there's a lightning bolt going at the Meddling Mage. But they have 0 cards left in hand, so we win. Oh, a lava dart as well. That's going to do a little bit more damage. Still don't think they're anywhere close, though. 4, 12, 18 damage. Nice hit. We go down to 11. But we got them with the swing back. I suppose if they had drawn exactly Kozilek's Return there, then we're dead. Manamorphose, looking for that Kozilek's Return. They have one draw. Oh, they're paying. Another Manamorphose. Sweating here. Do they get the return? GG. This hand is fine. Not great, but fine. Champion of the Parish into Thalia's Lieutenant into General or Mantis Rider. We will keep, and we'll start with Horizon Canopy so that the Gemstone Mine can stick around just that much longer. Okay, we're fighting some form of control deck. We get Reflector Mage off the top. Blah. Thinking probably Thalia's Lieutenant here to go strong. I don't know what I would name with Meddling Mage yet. I want to get a bit more information before I put Meddling Mage down. And the Thalia's Lieutenant grows similar to the Champion of the Parish, so I want to be able to start growing it as well. See if we draw a land next turn and are able to continue the pressure. Okay, Lightning Helix. Good card from the opponent. We do find land though. Okay. So we have the choice of Mantis Rider or the General. Mantis Rider is going to be doing more damage. So let's go that way. Swing in for another 5. And then next turn we'll play General and lose the Gemstone Mine. Okay, so they have all their mana open. Kind of expecting a Teferi to come down here, but no. We have Phantasmal Image. I'm thinking I probably want to play the General. And I want to do a pre-combat so I can get a boost. I could be playing in a counter magic here, but it is what it is. Okay, they have a remand. We'll attack for 5. And our General is no longer castable, but we have Image for Mantis Rider or Thalia's Lieutenant. We also have Meddling Mage. So if they're playing Lightning Helix, are they a Niv deck? Okay, another Mantis Rider. We can't actually cast the Phantasmal Image. We don't have the mana for it. Our only castable card is Meddling Mage. So what do we name with Meddling Mage? Oh, here's a Shark Typhoon. So they'll get a 1/1 and draw a card. See if they can find a snare. They don't. I think I named Path to Exile here. I imagine they'll chump the Mantis and take 3. We have 6, 7, 8, so this is presenting lethal. But the opponent still has 6 cards in hand, so I'm sure they have plenty of answers for what we're doing. Just hoping that none of them are sweeper. Here's a Teferi. They'll probably tuck the Mantis Rider. But that's quite risky as well. So yeah, they're going to draw a card and untap and have some sort of answer, I suppose. Nope, no answer. Okay, so they're a control deck. We want Gaddock Teeg and Magus of the Moon. What do we take out here? I like the General, so we can get rid of Snapcaster targets. I like the Thalia, big time. Freebooter, Meddling Mage, great combo. I think I take out Reflector Mage. Well, this hand has a lot of lands, but 2 of them are canopies. It has Aether Vial, Thalia, Gaddock Teeg, all the things that we want. We'll keep this. Okay, start with a canopy, play Vial Pass. Ziggurat does not cast Vial, so avoid the punt. Do not play Ziggurat first turn for Vial. Okay, Cleansing Wildfire. We'll go get a Plains. And we're going to want to play Thalia first to tax their mana, so they can't play 3 mana Teferi. And then we'll Gaddock Teeg before they can start playing 4 mana spells. Mystic Sanctuary for no value. But they do now have 3 islands, so the next Sanctuary will be able to get Cleansing Wildfire back. Oh, and a Lightning Bolt for the Thalia. Okay, we find Thalia's Lieutenant off the top. We could play the General and get rid of a card, and then play Freebooter. Not sure if I'm supposed to play the Gaddock Teeg right now without having the information of what's in their hand. I would like to protect the Teeg with Freebooter to try and take a piece of removal out of their hand. Yeah, I think I agree. We're going to cast the Freebooter, and we'll see what they have in hand. Okay, so they got a lot of stuff. We can take the Helix, but then they'll be able to Snapcaster Bolt. I feel like we take the Helix here. And they don't have access to another land yet. But that Snapcaster makes things a little bit awkward. If we play the Gaddock Teeg, that keeps them off of Jace. But I think if they use all their mana to play Jace, then we can kill it by putting the Gaddock Teeg in afterwards. So we're going to see if we can entice them to kill the Freebooter with their Snapcaster Mage. And if they play the Jace, then we'll kill it. Okay, no hits. I'm thinking about putting the Thalia's Lieutenant in play to grow the Freebooter and try and get them to take the bait. Okay, here's the snap. They bolt and they're able to take the Helix back here. Okay, we're going to leave this at 2 so that it's easy to put the Gaddock Teeg in. And we find Mantis Rider off the top. We can play the Mantis Rider here. See if they get rid of this Mantis Rider with the Helix so that we can put the Teeg in play. Nope, they're just holding back. Okay, we'll hold back as well. And we find Phantasmal Image. That's cool. We could also play the General, but I'm thinking about playing the Image as a copy of Rider here. And that will grow our Thalia's Lieutenant as well. They might take this opportunity to finally Helix the Mantis Rider, then we'll just copy Lieutenant instead. Okay, they're getting rid of the Lieutenant with the Helix. And then we'll put the Gaddock Teeg in play. Probably should have done it on their upkeep. And we'll also want to draw a card with Horizon Canopy at the end of their turn. Okay, there's flagstones. Are they going to want to Cleansing Wildfire their own flagstones here? Yes, indeed. Gives them a little bit of advantage. They get to put a bunch of lands into play. But they can't cast their Jace. Okay, Wildfire on Horizon Canopy. So we're going to draw a card with it. Oh, we can't. We can't actually do that. Ziggurat will not tap for that kind of mana. Okay, so we go get Island. Should have thought of that before and used these Ziggurats to cast the image and left the plains open for that reason. Yes, we'll use that ability. Okay, we'll put a Champion of Parish into play. And then we can use the Vial to put the General into play as a surprise. Keep Teeg back. Don't want to trade that with Snapcaster Mage. And here we're going to pull the Lightning Helix out of their graveyard. Oh, they got Time Raveler. So they can bounce Gaddock Teeg, and then they can play Jace. Oh, Madcap Experiment instead. That would have been a good strategy. But Madcap Experiment is probably, yeah. So we need a card that isn't in our deck anymore, I think. We took the Reflector Mages out. Ah, you're right. Thank you. We got Noble Hierarch off the top. They're tapped out, so we play Hierarch, and then we sacrifice 2 humans, destroy the Empyrean, and kill them with Mantis Riders. That's it. Okay, we have a 1-land hand, no Aether Vial. That's a mulligan. This is fine. We're going to keep this. We'll get rid of one of the Meddling Mage. And we'll start with Aether Vial. This will allow us to play Hierarch and Meddling Mage next turn. We're playing against Urzatron. Okay. I believe this is a very difficult matchup. We find another land. Okay, so we'll play Unclaimed Territory. Name Human again. Play Meddling Mage. And we're going to name Ancient Stirrings. And then we can use the Phantasmal Image to name Karn next turn. Oh, they're playing Blue Tron. Well, that is quite the shock. That's not something you see very often at all. So our Meddling Mage is basically just a bear. And we draw a Champion of the Parish. A little bit late. Attack for 3. We'll put the Champ into play. And then we'll put the Image into play, probably copying Champion. Although we might copy Meddling Mage. Okay, there's a Remand. We can just go ahead and replay it. We still have mana with the Noble Hierarch to draw a card with the Horizon Canopy. Don't know very much about Mono Blue Tron. Okay, so they have the Mine. Expedition map is going to get them to Tron next turn. So what am I supposed to name here with Meddling Mage? Mono Blue Tron. Am I supposed to name like Mindslaver or something? I could name Karn the Great Creator. We don't need to worry too much about their counterspell. We have Vial. But the counterspell, they have Condescend and Repeal. Dismember, Thirst for Knowledge. Talisman of Dominance, Maze Mind Tomb, Mindslaver is pretty much the win here. And then they also have Walking Ballista. Could name Walking Ballista. I think that would be pretty good. Either that or Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Ugin would just crush us. So we probably name Ugin, even though they only have one in the deck. They'll have the mana for it next turn. And if that resolved, we would just be dead. So we'll name the card that we're dead to. And we'll draw a card. Find Cavern of Souls. So that's another way they're not going to be countering our spells. Move this up to 3. And we'll leave it there. We find Freebooter. So let's go ahead and freeboot. Pump up our Champion of the Parish and see what they have in hand. Uncounterable spell. They might not. The list I was looking at plays one, and I just thought that we're just totally dead to that card. So that's why I named it. It might be wrong. Okay, this could be Repeal. Okay, they do have Walking Ballista, and they have Ugin. Check it out. Right there. We would have been dead. We're still in quite a bit of trouble. They're going to be able to play a huge Walking Ballista next turn. 4/4 Ballista. Clear out our Meddling Mage. Not sure if we're supposed to take Repeal or Thirst. Yeah, it's... That Walking Ballista is a big problem. We're going to take their Repeal, so they can't bounce a creature. They're going to take full damage this turn. Okay, take 7, go to 10. And their Walking Ballista is going to murder us. Okay, it only takes 1 ping to get rid of the illusion because of the illusion's sacrifice ability. They get to keep a 3/3. And we find Thalia off the top. Thalia is not really going to do any work. We can attack with Champion of the Parish, Kitesail Freebooter. I think we just attack with Champion. Okay, and then they just play Ugin and we lose. We can't beat an Ugin. We're going to concede here. Okay, let's bring in Magus of the Moon. Let's bring in Gaddock Teeg. What are we going to take out here? The General isn't very good here. Thalia seems excellent. Freebooter seems very good. Meddling Mage, okay. Reflector Mage, we're going to want to keep a couple copies of that. They have access to Wormcoil Engine. Maybe I take out 1 Image and 1 Mage. They don't have a lot of targets, but we do want to get 1 Reflector Mage just in case. So we'll submit like this. Jump into game 2 of match 10. Okay, this hand is not great, but I don't think they're going to be able to do too much to my Noble Hierarch right away. And we got Cavern of Souls, so they cannot counter our spells. So we're going to try this. Thalia also seems pretty good at slowing them down. Land off the top would be ideal so that we can play Thalia and Champion of the Parish. No luck. I'm thinking Thalia here, but we could also go Champion to present a clock. Let's make a clock here. Two mana. They're going to get rid of our Hierarch. Good plan from the opponent. Land off the top, please. No luck, but we do have Aether Vial. So we'll attack for 3 and play Vial. Okay, Maze Mine Tomb. Land, please. Deck, what are you doing to us? Aether Vial isn't too bad, actually. But it's a little bit slower than we're looking for. Thalia's Lieutenant would do a ton of damage next turn, giving both of our creatures +2/+2. So that would be 4 and 3 is 7 total. Okay, here's a Thought-Knot Seer. They're going to be able to take anything they like. Probably Thalia's Lieutenant. Bye-bye, Lieutenant. Still have Freebooter and Thalia, though. And we find Mantis Rider off the top. Okay. So we can put Freebooter or Thalia into play. I would like to put the Thalia into play, I think. And start taxing them. We have no attack. But next turn we will. We'll be able to put in Mantis Rider, and then we'll have a 4/4 Champion of the Parish. And if we draw land, we can also put... because of the Vial, we'll also be able to put Freebooter into play anyways. We could alternatively reflect the Thought-Knot Seer, which would allow us to attack with all of our creatures, and draw a card. So I think next turn we're looking at Reflector Mage, as long as we can keep our Aether Vial here. Nope, another Thought-Knot Seer. Probably losing our Reflector Mage here. Nope, Mantis Rider instead. They're going to allow us to attack into their Thought-Knot Seers. Okay, we got both of our vials exactly where we want them. So we're going to want to start with Reflection. Get one of their Thought-Knot Seers out of the way. And we'll draw a card. We find Magus of the Moon. Not exactly exciting. They do have access to one blue source, and we cannot put it onto the board right now. Okay, let's go ahead and attack with our big champ here. I don't expect them to block. So we're going to use the Kitesail Freebooter on their draw step instead. We'll miss out on a point of damage, but we'll get to see an extra card. Snapcaster Mage, and then they can contort something. Okay. But that means they won't be able to contort the Magus of the Moon. Are they going to get rid of this champion, maybe? Or are they going to get rid of the Freebooter? Okay, they're just going to get rid of the Freebooter immediately. don't even let me take a card, but now they're tapped out. So we're going to be able to put the Magus of the Moon into play and take away most of their mana. Oh, nice. Oblivion Stone. That's a problem. Another Aether Vial off the top. Garbage. Okay, they're at 10. I think we have to attack all. They block... They have to block at least one of the champions. So Snapcaster in front of champion. And then they take 5, 6, 7. Go to 3. And we lose one of our creatures, which is fine. We can lose a Thalia, no problem. Reflector Mage, not as much, but we definitely can. And we're going to be losing our creatures anyways to their Oblivion Stone. Magus of the Moon. You got a bunch of mountains, opponent. Take 4. We draw a card. We get Reflector Mage. Very cool. I think we have this game. They could have Walking Ballista. They Walking Ballista, kill the Magus of the Moon. I think we still win. Okay. Got a little bit lucky there. The Champion of the Parish was a very nice clock. I think we're fine with the deck that we have. Let's go ahead and submit. Could actually play Skyclave Apparitions. I think those would have been quite good. We do have Magus of the Moon here, but I don't know if we want to keep a 5-land hand based on that. We have nothing else going on. We have no clock. This is much better, but we can't actually cast our Hierarch with these lands. Deck, come on, what are you doing to us? Unfortunate. Got some real garbage hands there. Land off the top, please. We could name Kithkin with this one. We already have one Cavern, naming human, and all of our humans only require one color. So we're going to name Kithkin just in case we can get this Gaddock Teeg out. And then we'll play a Thalia. Land off the top, please. Magus of the Moon, let's go. Okay, they're getting basic island. Smart from the opponent. They've seen Magus of the Moon and the things they can do already. We got land, so we can play Magus of the Moon or Teeg. I think we want to play Teeg, actually. Although if we play Magus of the Moon, then they cannot play Thought Not Seer next turn. That does mean that we're off of our cards as well, though. Tough choice. We can play Teeg or we can play Magus. If we play Magus, we basically have no more plays for the rest of the game. Okay, this might be wrong. Maybe we're supposed to play Magus here and cut them off of colorless mana. We're going to play Gaddock Teeg, can't be countered. This could be Spatial Contortion. No, Shark Typhoon. And they have a Blast Zone. Okay, Magus of the Moon does turn off Blast Zone. And we're going to want to do that. And it looks like they're just passing back to us, so no Thought Not Seer. Okay, we get Basic Island. Very nice. Unfortunately, we cannot 2-spell this turn. So I think we're just priced into Magus of the Moon, because otherwise the Blast Zone will get rid of our Gaddock Teeg. I don't even want to attack, just in case they have, with Gaddock Teeg I mean, just in case they have another Shark, and are able to ambush the Teeg with a pair of Sharks. Okay, let's make a Magus and see if we can win with this board. Okay, they put a charge counter on the Blast Zone, but Blast Zone doesn't work while Magus is in play, and they no longer have colorless mana. Let's see if 6 a turn can kill them. We got a 3-turn clock here. Yep, they need removal in the first couple turns here, and it looks like they're passing back to us. We're going to be able to play another Magus of the Moon on our turn. And we get Aether Vial. Aether Vial is nice, but we cannot cast both. They could have Shark Typhoon, but I don't think that we can worry about that right now. We have to just go and attack, 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 and finish the game. Not if I want to cast Magus of the Moon. I have a Thalia. Oh, Snapcaster Mage, so that can block Gaddock Teeg or Magus of the Moon. Okay, they're killing the Magus, so we'll replay our Magus on our turn. Fortunately, they do not have Tron, so they cannot activate the Blast Zone yet. Okay, they still have 7 cards in hand. Oh, they conceded. We won. All right, we got a 4-1. We did better, right, Handsome? Good thing we did another league there. That first league was quite poor. Very satisfied with how this one went. Another 4-1. Definitely not worse.